There you go. Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. We find ourselves on the private test realm today. Welcome to the PTR. I do think it's funny that Gazlo is the person that greets you here because he's probably the character that needs the most work. Today we have a new character that has been released. He goes by the name of Gul'dan. In today's video, we are going to be taking some time to look at everything that this character has to offer. This is going to be a very long, very boring, stress on that. I don't want to hear complaints in the comments about it. I'm trying to just get to the hero. Very long, very boring first look at his talents and potential builds that we may use for Gul'dan moving forward in the future. If this doesn't interest you, then you have been warned and you can leave now in peace. Okay, let's jump into try mode. Now, I am doing this in a live stream format today. For those of you that are watching live right now, welcome. I hope you're doing very well. We just finished up a live stream over on the Squadron channel for this bad boy. And this is his default skin, right? Yeah. So I'm going to be giving you my first impressions. I have not played him yet, so this is all still first impressions for me. Hengus was playing him throughout the entirety of that live stream. Now, because this is a live stream, please keep in mind that it will take time to process after we're done. So if you watch this immediately after it goes live as a video on my channel, it might look a little weird. So I just want to make sure we're all on the same page with that. This is dance animation. I don't know what that's from. Maybe you guys do. And I'm sure he has some poke stuff. But the game's probably too quiet for that. So what are Gul'dan's abilities? He has Fell Flame. It's going to release a wave of flame, dealing 436 damage at level 20 to enemies. It has this as its projectile. And it looks like this. Pretty respectable travel time. I would imagine we could do a pretty decent amount of damage with this. It has a 1.5 second cooldown. Actually very similar to Medivh's Q in a lot of ways. I mean, pretty much the same projectile style, but with a significantly shorter cooldown. So this is going to be the main source of your damage throughout the course of a fight, throughout the course of a game. Now, you will notice that it does have a 75 mana cost, and we only have 690 mana down here at the bottom. So, how do we get our mana back? Because as you can see, it's not regenerating. We have to use Life Tap. Gul'dan does not regenerate mana. Activate to restore 25% of your mana. It should also say very clearly that it has a life requirement. I guess it does. It's going to take 513 of our life in order to give us 25% of our mana back. So we have to constantly tap this in combat in order to continue to cast our spells. Very similar to good old Affliction Warlocks of Vanilla WoW, I would say. Now, this does leave you with a little bit of a problem. You obviously are pretty vulnerable right now, but you do have other tools in your kit to help out, to help alleviate this issue. We have, for instance, Drain Life. This is our W ability. Drain life from an enemy over 3 seconds, dealing 290 damage per second at level 20, and healing Gul'dan for 377 health per second, again at level 20. So that's going to look just like this. We're just going to drain health from this thing, and it's going to give us a significant portion of our health back. This does have a 10-second cooldown, however, and as you can see, when I used all of my life taps that I needed to get my mana back, Drain Life does not passively, by default, give me enough health back. So you ideally, let's go ahead and spend some mana. Ideally, you would want to be on top of this throughout the course of the whole game. So you can see I'm missing about 25% of my mana now. So we'll go ahead and life tap, and then we can Drain Life and come right back up to full. So that's the best way to get the most sustain out of what you are trying to do. If you want to like push lanes or stay in team fights, you need to make sure that you're actually managing your life and mana bar, which is a pretty cool mechanic, I think. Pretty damn cool mechanic. His E ability is called Corruption. It has a 16-second cooldown, and you're going to call forth 3 bursts of shadow energy, dealing 491 damage over 6 seconds, and this is going to stack 3 times. So this is a damage over time ability that can stack 3 times. That's actually interesting. Let's test that out. Because how it works, it's kind of like Gauls goop ability. So I have this circle that I can position my E ability in. It'll extend out of the circle, but this is kind of like your guideline, and you can put it in closer, which I didn't realize earlier. But there's no way to change like where the projectiles hit. They're always going to go in a line unless there's a talent for that later on. So in order to get 3 stacks of this, you would have to hit someone that's running away in a straight line, which I think would actually be pretty hard to do. I think that'd be pretty damn hard to do. Let's go ahead and toggle our cooldowns and see if it will do extra damage over time to this stuff. Yeah, it's so hard to tell. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. Okay. Other than that, we do have 2 heroic abilities, as you would expect. We'll just pick some talents and we'll go straight to those. We have Horrify, deal damage, and fears heroes. Let's go ahead and spawn on the bots. Very, 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 very strong. I think this is going to be, just from what I saw with Hangers playing earlier, I think this is going to be the more reliable of the 2. But after a short delay, you deal 263 damage at level 20, which is nothing, and fear enemy heroes in that area for 2 seconds. So this is what the impact looks like. And think of this as a Tychus grenade. So if I were to drop it... Oh, we're gonna need some health. Here, let's get some health back. If I were to drop it behind Arthas here, he'll go towards the tower. We'll go ahead and toggle off cooldown so I can show it again. If I am, again, drop it in front of him, he's gonna turn around. So basically, the point of impact is the very center of this circle, and you can kind of control where people go based on where the center of that circle is. I guess I messed it up there just a little bit. So again, think about Tychus's grenade. It has an impact radius, basically, even though it doesn't animate that in any capacity. So if you want someone to go to the right here, you're trying to run away, you need to make sure this is positioned in the right spot for that to happen. And I think that's a nuance that isn't conveyed really easily, or really well, rather, but it's going to be a very important part of playing him. His other heroic ability, we'll go ahead and reset. Just picking talents at random here. This is Reign of Destruction. This one sounded really, really cool to me. But again, I think Horrify is going to be more reliable. But Reign of Destruction. Summon a rain of meteors in an area for 7 seconds. Each meteor deals 362 damage at level 20. Important to make that distinction. Each meteor deals 362 damage in a small area. So what does this look like? It has a 7-second channel time, so you need to make sure that you're committed to the spot that you are standing in, because if you move, you fuck up everything. So committed to the spot that you're standing in. This is going to be our radius. You can see we have a circle that we can cast this in, and then a pretty hefty radius on this thing. So this is about as far as you could possibly cast it away from you. And for this 7 seconds, we're just going to be calling down meteors like crazy. And it does do a pretty good job of zoning. It has a 100-second cooldown, which feels like a long time. While you're casting this, you cannot move, so you need to make sure that you're positioned appropriately for it. But it basically does all the zoning purposes that a Phoenix or a Hyperion would do. One of the benefits of it as well is the enemy team, as of right now in the PTR, the enemy team cannot see... I did not mean to reset talents, motherfucker. They cannot see the radius of this. So, if we were to cast it right here, they just kind of have to eyeball the radius, which I think does an even better job of making people want to move away from it. You know, when a Phoenix is on the ground, you can see the Phoenix and just take a step outside of it, and then suddenly you're fine. If Jim Raynor fires a Hyperion off at you, you step out of the Hyperion, which Hyperion moves after you, so I think it does a pretty good job. But, you know, you can see the radius, so you can circumvent that. This, however, fucking big area in the first place, and it's kind of hard to tell where it ends because you don't have that defined edge, which I think is pretty cool, actually. I think that's pretty cool. It will not do reliable damage in an area, more of a zoning tool, but it can do a shit ton of siege damage if that was the thing you're interested in. I'm kind of conflicted on it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. All right, let's go ahead and start looking at some talents. I do not have any builds in mind for this, just for the record. Pursuit of Flame. Level 1. This is going to augment our Q ability. It is a quest talent. Hit 40 enemies with heroes 40 enemy heroes with Fell Flame. It should definitely say the Fell Flame. Fell Flame's radius is going to be increased by 10%. That doesn't seem worth it at all. I think the wording is important here, the radius. So it's not going to increase the length of the spell, correct? Shit, I'll test it. Fuck. Okay, so we want to stand right here. We're gonna have to cast this 40 fucking times. I mean, it's only gonna take a minute, but it feels like a fucking eternity when I'm just sitting here dwelling on this. It doesn't increase the length though, it's just the radius. And notice the radius isn't very big in the first place. Like, this is the line in which we can shoot in. So I'm guessing that this is gonna be... I feel like people are pre-programmed right now to see a quest talent and think that it's the best way to go. Because in a lot of cases it is. If you want survivability on Kael'thas, for instance, you go for the quest talent. If you like having more health on any warrior, you go for the quest talent. In order to get more health, so you can survive through things and have more health regen on top of that. But as far as like this one, I think this one is going to be a little underwhelming. We're almost there. We've almost hit it. I just can't say that I'm too optimistic about this one right out of the gate. So what are we at right now? We're at 39. So this is the radius. Okay, everybody see this? Everybody see the radius? We're going to fire this one off and then it should change. Not worth at all. Not worth at all. It's almost fucking identical. So you were basically wasting a talent at level 1. Okay. So the other talents at level 1. Glyph of Drain Life. Increase the cast range of Drain Life by 25%. The cast range by default is this. So if we get the talent, it increases it to this. Which seems decent. Yeah, I don't mind that. Keep in mind that this is going to be a very vital tool to your survivability, and it's going to be very vital to your actual damage output because you have to life tap to get mana back, which sacrifices health, and then you have to drain life to get that health back. You can't move while that's draining, so being in a safer position should be good. Yeah, that should be good. Let's go ahead and reset again. We have Echoed Corruption. Hit 30 heroes with Corruption, which is our E ability. After the third strike, Corruption strikes 3 times in the opposite direction. Okay. We're gonna have to fucking test this one too. Where are these quest talents, man? So we'll just go ahead and start stacking these up right here. Oh, I wonder. Okay, this is probably actually worth testing. If I hit it right on the edge, does that count as 2? Yes. So it's possible to get 2 stacks on 1 hero. Yeah. That's really not that hard to do, actually. Oh, well, they would be moving. Yeah, I think it'll be that hard. Oh god, he has 3 quest talents. Yeah, you're not kidding. It's a lot of quest talents. What are we at? We're already at 30. So that was so much easier. Fuck. Okay, so this should fly back at us. Okay, that was confusing. Okay, let's wait a second on that. So again, I believe this has a damage over time stacking component. And if this goes off twice, which I'm pretty sure it does, let's see. Well, theoretically, that would mean we could stack all 3 versions of the dot on a target. So he's taking 82 damage 3 times a second for 6 seconds, which is good. That's really good. Especially if they have a slow healer on their team, like an Uther or something, this would actually be very meaningful damage. But again, it kind of runs... I don't know. I feel like when you're chasing after the target, you would really only want the 3rd one to end, like the 3rd one to land. Because again, in no situation should you catch one person 3 fucking times. But I think it's pretty feasible to be able to catch someone twice in the last one, because that second impact is actually pretty fast. Not to mention, you know, the enemy team is going to clump up every now and then. So being able to hit several of them with this, I think is pretty good. So as far as level 1 goes, I'm already leaning towards that as the talent that I think is going to be the better one. The other option would be Glyph of Life Drain. Then we have Chaotic Energy, another quest talent. Gathering a regen globe causes your next ability with a mana cast to refund 25 mana. After gathering 20 regen globes, your basic ability mana costs are permanently reduced by 20. So this just makes it so you would not have to life tap as frequently, which I don't think is going to be a big deal at all, actually. Not a big fan of that one. I think you have life drain. You can easily take care of yourself with this. I think that it's fairly... Here, let's turn off cooldowns. I think it's fairly easy to balance out his mana with just a life drain in there periodically, and then you can gain it back. And remember, you're still dealing damage while you're gaining that health back. It's not just a free life tool. So I actually don't think Chaotic Energy is going to be very good at all. So I've made my decision. Level 1. Echoed Corruption seems like the way to go. I can see that being very good in team fights. All right, level 4 talents. We have Health Funnel. Killing an enemy with Life Drain reduces its cooldown. If an enemy dies while under the effect of Life Drain, the cooldown is reduced by 6 seconds. By default, it has a 10-second cooldown. Does the cooldown kick in at the start of the cast or at the end of the cast? Let's find out. That actually wasn't very telling. Here, let's do it on this. This is probably better. So it's at the start of the cast because it had 3 seconds left there. So if you're using this on minions, you could... If you're using this on minions, you could theoretically just always be chaining life from minions, or draining life from minions. Because as you saw, it was a very easy Q into a W, and it was able to kill that frontline minion. So for lane sustain, this could be very, very good. I kind of want to compare it to Kerrigan's Q when she has that talented, just as a way of getting life back. But I don't know, we'll have to see. Improved life tap. Life tap now restores 35% more mana. So instead of having to cast it 4 times to get a full mana bar, you have to cast it 3 times to get a full mana bar. Consume Soul. Instantly kill an enemy minion and heal for 800 health. That seems good. An enemy minion doesn't work like Bribe. These are neutral minions, so I mean so it shouldn't work. Okay. But getting, what was it, 800 health? Getting 800 health back instantly is pretty damn strong. So let's toggle on some minions and just see how well it works. Now, we know from, yeah, it just completely deletes them. It has 2 charges. Each charge has a 30-second cooldown. So again, I kind of see that as a cue for Kerrigan. You're hanging out in the lane until you need to heal, and then you just kill that minion to get health back. 800 health? 600 health? I can't remember. 800 health would be 1,600 health together, which is just about half of your health bar. It's a little less. So that's not bad. That's not bad. So does the burst healing there make it better than the health funnel, which would be for lane sustain? I don't know. I think it's going to be on a game-by-game basis. Keep in mind that you won't always be team fighting in an area to get the benefit of Consume Soul. On maps like Blackheart's Bay or Battlefield of Eternity, you're going to be pretty far away from minions. Yeah, we got the double dot there. That was nice. You're going to be pretty far away from minions at any given time. So you'd have to run quite a ways to be able to actually use Consume Soul adequately. That being said, it is a lot of health, and it could probably save you in a lot of situations. So I think either Health Funnel or Consume Soul is going to be the way to go based on the map. Me personally, I think I would lean towards health funnel. Does this have a mana cost? No, Drain Life does not have a mana cost, so that's worth mentioning as well. All right, Bound by Shadow, level 7. Each enemy you hit with Fell Flame reduces its cooldown. Oh, excuse me. Each enemy hit by Fell Flame reduces the cooldown of Corruption. So by using your Q, you lower the cooldown of your E. That is strong by 1 second. 1 whole fucking second. A minion wave has, what, 7 minions in it? So instantly taking 7 seconds off this cooldown? That is really strong. Devour the Frail. Drain Life deals 50% more damage to enemies below 50% health. That could be strong as kind of like an executioner style thing. I would assume that the damage bonus would be increased by things like Hunter's Mark. So this can make high health targets like Muradin or ETC, Stitches, Arthas. This could essentially allow your team to burst them down a bit quicker. Now that being said, this is not the highest damaging ability, but it would be doing what, 450 a tick? Is that right? Is that right, chat? Chat, I don't math very well, so you're gonna have to help me. This is one of the advantages to doing a live stream, though. I can get instant feedback on this stuff. And by instant feedback, I mean it's like a minute from now, but I can just sit here and drink some water in the meantime. The other options in the tier: upon expiration, corruption slows enemy movement speed by 50%. Upon expiration, what the fuck does that mean? Is that when the dot ends? So there's the dot. He's taking the dot. Is he going to be slowed? Oh, okay. Yeah. So that is a slow for 50% for 2 seconds that will kick in after a 6-second delay. Chat more or less agreed with me, just for the record, on the damage numbers there. I can math sometimes. This is baffling. A 50% slow for 2 seconds on a 6-second delay. What? Why do you want that? This is only good for chasing. Only good for chasing like ridiculously long distances. It could be good versus a Tracer, but Tracer is just going to rewind out of the dot anyway. That's part of her core mechanic. 6 seconds seems like way too long of a time to actually make it a meaningful chase. I don't know. I'm not too enthused by this one. Then we have Hunger for Power. Increases ability power by 15%, but reduces healing received from allies by 25%. Oh, that one is pretty cool. So everything you're gonna do is going to deal 15% more damage, but when your healers go in and they try to keep you alive, it's going to be 25% less effective. So kind of like Glass Cannon from Li Ming, but your health pool doesn't get lower, only the healing from allies gets lower. Well, you know what is not healing from allies? Your W ability. Your W ability is self-healing. So let's go ahead and reset our talents and try this one out. I'm actually pretty curious about this one. Now, does the ability power also increase the amount of healing that we get? I think that would be pretty important to see. So we're not going to pick the talent yet. We're going to do 98 a tick. And then let's go ahead and reset. And then it didn't even fucking reset. Oh my god. 98 a tick. So we don't self-heal for more. I thought the ability power would actually lend itself pretty well to that as well, but no. That would be the reason I take it. Now, having more ability power with Reign of Destruction could be quite strong. That could be quite strong. Because just doing this damage everywhere in this area, like this, let's see how much damage this does. Dude, that's 433 every single fucking meteor. God, that's actually a ton of damage. Wow. Like look at this. Let's toggle the cooldowns back off. And then let's push in here a little bit. Let's actually deal some damage to Arthas. Let's get him to run behind his towers. And then we'll actually use this as a siege and zoning tool. Look at the RNG in this, though. I was just trying to kill some fucking buildings, and for the first, I don't know, 5 seconds of that, it just missed everything. But look at this life gen, dude. This life steal. It's actually crazy. Did I ever tell you guys that my first character that I really played in the World of Warcraft was a warlock? It was an affliction warlock. My first character ever was a Tauren hunter, but right after that, affliction warlock. And dude, Drain Life was my shit. And then I gravitated over towards League of Legends, and I played a ton of Fiddlesticks because Drain Life was my shit. So having a character with like that can do this is just so cool for me. So that being said, I've already established that I don't like Reign of Destruction, and I think Horrify is better. So for my main build, I don't think I'm going to be going for that damage amplification. I think instead, look, I'm just trying to zone Arthas back here. Not a single one of these have hit him. Not reliable at all. Not reliable at all. So I think I'm going to go for the Bound by Shadow. Each enemy hero hit by Fel Flame reduces the cooldown of corruption by 1 second. Now, it is enemy hero. You know what? Fuck it. It's enemy hero. I thought it was minion. Fuck it. So we're going to go for Devour the Frail. So we can actually do a little bit of execution with our E ability. That's what we're going to fucking do. All right, let's get him low. Let's get him low. Okay. Put these in front of him. Yeah, that's the way to go. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. And then we already established Horrify. Man, Horrify is just so fucking good. It's just so fucking good. And the fact that the people that you actually do fear, you can control where they go after, is just so strong. So crazy good. All right, level 13, Fel Armor. Fel Flame grants a spell shield, hitting an enemy hero. Again, hero. With Fel Flame grants a spell shield, reducing ability damage taken by 30% for 2.5 seconds. Now, that being said, even though you have to hit a hero with this, and you can't just have this on all the time when you're just walking around, that being said, the spell shield will last longer than the cooldown of Fel Flame. 1.5 second cooldown on Fel Flame, which is just the normal, like, hey, look at me cast this. I'm casting it. So we would... I mean, I guess I could just show you. There's a spell shield. It's still there. Here's another spell shield. So, effectively, while you're in a fight and able to still land shit on enemies, you will always have this spell shield. And it will even last a decent portion of your Drain Life cast. So that could be crazy strong. That could be crazy strong in the right situation versus the right characters. So this would be against, I don't know, Kael'thas, Li Ming, Jaina Proudmoore. Against someone like Azmodan and Chromie, you're not going to get as much of a value out of this because you won't necessarily be landing the Q on them all of the time. So I think that's an important distinction to make. Let's go ahead and reset again. Go back in. Then at level 13, we also have Harvest Life. Drain Life heals for 50% more health when used on heroes. Very strong, obviously, because we already have 2 Drain Life talents in my build so far. So it heals for more. It will not deal more damage. It'll just heal for more. Which... again, this build so far is going to have a ton of lane sustain because we can kill that guy, instantly reduce the cooldown, and then just continue life draining. Look at that execute damage right there. Okay, we'll put that right in front of Arthas. We'll try to fear him backwards, and then we'll hit him with the Fel Flame, position for Drain Life. Dude, easy. Easy mode. Easy mode. He's going to be so strong in 1v1s. But, like, actually getting them you know, actually fighting people in a 1v1 may be a different thing. You're very susceptible to silences, I will say, while this is casting, but it seems pretty damn strong so far. Okay, we have Dark Bargain also at level 13. Your maximum health is permanently increased by 25%, but your death respawn time is increased by 15 seconds. Ooh, no. Nope, 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 for a variety of reasons. The first of which is death timers are usually why I win games. You kill someone, you kill their core. You kill someone, you kill their fucking building that matters. Like, that is how most games are won. So the fact that you're willingly increasing your death timer by 15 seconds? Fuck no. In no way is this a good talent ever. And it's worth mentioning that by having 25% more health, you're gonna be more susceptible to Giant Killer, which means you'll be able to die faster versus certain heroes. No fucking way. No way in hell would I ever pick that talent. And then we have Healthstone level 13. Activate to heal for 30% of your maximum health on a 60-second cooldown. I'm assuming this would just be an active ability, and it's going to restore 30% of our health. I'll let you mathematicians figure out how much 30% of 3,114 is. But I could see that being very good, coupled with the Consumed Soul earlier in the game. Because you'd be getting, if you use both charges of Consumed Soul at one time, you'd probably get around 2,000 health back. More than that. You would get more than 2,000 health back. I wouldn't get it by itself, though. I would only pick this up if I also picked up Consumed Soul earlier in the game. Yeah. I'm pretty confident in that. Chat is saying it's close to 1,000 HP, so you'd be getting 2,600 HP back at level 22. I really should reset back down to 20. And it reset my fucking talents too. Oh, it feels bad. It feels bad. I guess I could show that combo off really quick. We'll just pick whatever. And then Healthstone. Let's go take some damage. We'll toggle some minions in as well. Where's all the buildings? Refresh forts. All right, we've taken some damage. The minions are going to be incoming. So we have Healthstone here. That was 1,000 damage. Immediately healed. And then we sacrifice 2 more things. That's a lot of healing. So, if you're on a map where you're always going to be by minions, like Tomb of the Spider Queen, great example. You're always by a minion because the lanes are so short. That could be very, very strong. That could be very, very strong. You could totally juke someone with that. Not to mention you also have Drain Life on top of that, which is really good, actually. So that's definitely a viable option. Or if I'm still going to go for Harvest Life here. At level 16, we have Rampant Hellfire, excuse me. Fell Flames damage is increased by 6% for 5 seconds when hitting an enemy hero. This can stack up to 5 fucking times. Oh my god. Okay. All right, let's do some testing with that. That seems strong. That seems real strong. I don't think I would change... I don't think I would change anything in my build for it. If this is the one we go for. So this stacks 5 times. So starting out, this is with normal cooldowns. Normal cooldowns. Here we go. That's 436. So this goes up to 566. Now, there is a, over here, down at the bottom left, there is a UI element for this stack. I hope you guys can see that relatively well. It's kind of ticking down. So do all the stacks go away? All the stacks do go away. So that's important to mention. You kind of have to maintain everything that you're doing, which could be a little hard because you're going to have to sacrifice life in here. And you're going to have to drain life in here as well. And most people are just going to move away from you when you start casting the drain life. So this does seem good. But I think maybe you would actually go for the more mana return earlier on. The other talents at this level. Corruption deals an additional 171 damage on impact if the enemy is hit by all 3 strikes. The 3rd strike deals 511 damage. Again, the odds of someone not... This will happen, right? And people will say, dude, I made it work and it was so good. But most of these people will be in a lower MMR versus players who don't necessarily move out of things right away. And that's the truth of the matter. So, like, maybe you can catch someone with 2. But, like, if you... For instance, if I'm trying to cut someone off and I cast this... Let's say I'm trying to cast... It's so hard to demonstrate this if I'm trying to cast it on me. But it's so easy just to do this. Like, a vertical click rather than trying to run this way. It's like, oh, it's that way. Let's go this way. It's going to be so hard to actually hit 3 people with it, or 3 consecutive strikes with it. Now, something that is worth testing, unfortunately, is does that stack with our level 1 talent? Because that would give us 6 of the corruption things. Maybe we can make that work. I don't know. Horrify. What did I do here? Harvest life. So it's gonna make 6 of these fucking things. This only works on heroes, correct? Corruption deals an additional 171 damage on impact if the enemy is hit by all 3 strikes. So it has to be a single enemy being hit by all 3 of these. What's our quest stack up to? We're halfway there. I just don't see this being reliable at all. But when the waves come back, I could see that working. Okay. So, we need to let this damage stop. Now, we would want to aim so that the first one misses in most cases, right? Because they travel out from your character. So you would want to miss the first one, you would want the second one to land, and you would want the third one to land. Because the third one immediately procs again. And if this works, then that means we get a shit ton of bonus damage. Or a shit ton of lag. Let's try that again. But Arthas just died, everybody. Look out. Yeah, that works. So the only way this town is going to be viable, is if you pick up the level 1 quest for it. Still going to be hard, though. I think it's going to be really hard. It's good on paper, though. Yeah, I can see that working. The other talent at the level Darkness Within. After using Life Tap, your next ability you cast has a 20% increased ability power. That could be hella good too. You don't see it hitting for 500. It's in there. So 171, 171, 82, and then the 500 starts right when the 82 procs start going up. 171, and there's 511. Yeah, I mean, I can see that working. It doesn't seem half bad. It's going to take a lot of mastery of the ability to land consistently. But again, I think the idea would be that you miss the first 2 and count on that last one to land twice. That's exactly how it's going to work. All right, level 20. Haunt. Increases duration and makes enemies vulnerable. Oh shit. Increases the duration of Horrify by 1 second, and feared enemies become vulnerable, taking 25% more damage. It is a bomb. It is a Hunter's Mark bomb that you can then control the way your allies' path. Oh god, that is good. That is so good. That is so fucking good. Holy shit. So we would want to do something like this. Holy crap! God, that is strong! Not only are you making this target vulnerable, but you can direct him right back to your team. Because remember, the impact radius of Haunt works just like Tychus's grenade, where you can basically control where you want that person to go based on where you position the Horrify. So let's say my team is over here by this wall and I want Arthas to go there. There we go. Arthas is now taking 25% more damage. So is his whole fucking team, and he's walking directly where I want him to go. It's like Hunter's Mark with a mind control on top of it, if you fucking land it right. That is so good. Holy crap, that is good. Dude, that's gonna be so fucking strong. Wow. That is by far the best thing in his fucking kit. By far the best thing in his fucking kit. Now, we do run into a little bit of a problem here. What is the problem? Well, Demonic Circle. As you may have noticed, we don't have any mobility. Zero mobility. Our only defensive cooldown is the Horrify, that is on an 80-second cooldown. So, what does this mean? This means that at level 20, the only way we can actually avoid dying if the enemy team does decide to jump on top of us, the only way we can avoid dying, other than, you know, our team collapsing and doing the right thing and focusing targets down and, you know, us positioning correctly, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I guess I'm over-exaggerating it just a little bit, but we have Demonic Circle. And Demonic Circle is actually really, really cool. I have seen this one. I know how it works. So, Demonic Circle, no cooldowns being altered with here. This is the default cooldown. We go ahead and we set our Demonic Circle down here. And it'll stay there. It'll stay there for a very long time. It'll stay there for fucking however long we want it to stay there. Then, we can walk over here. Oh no! I'm taking too much damage from this enemy team, and there's no way that I could possibly live! You just hit Demonic Circle again, and then you're back to safety, and everything's okay. Now, the return to the circle does have a 60-second cooldown. But as you're moving around the battlefield, you can continue to replace this. So, with no cooldown. So as we're moving forward, that fear didn't quite go how I wanted. As we're moving forward, you know, let's say that our team's pushed up. It's looking pretty good. I want to reinforce in this bush. Then we can, you know, as this fight's going on, we don't have to go all the way back to the base. We simply return to the bush. Very strong. And one of his only ways of actually escaping a well-coordinated gank or something like that, because there's no delay, it's just an instant cast. All you have to do is react, and it's really, really easy to do. So, if your game is going fucking incredible, then you go for Haunt, I think. If it's one of those games where, you know, I'm kind of getting dove on a lot, so my team doesn't seem to be working with me really well, I think Demonic Circle is going to be the way to go. Because, again, the thing that loses games for most teams is someone having a death timer and the whole team not being there. Some people have asked what the range on it is. Dude, this is global. It's global as fuck. It is global as fuck. I mean, this is a really, really small map, but, like, you can be anywhere. You can be fucking anywhere, and this will work. So, I think this is the build that I will use in most situations. It has some pretty good synergy in here. It has some really good self-sustain, which is something that I really enjoy. I think there are a few alterations. I had to think about that. I think there are a few alterations you could do on certain maps, but I think this is the bare bones. God damn it. Really? Really? This is why you guys wanted me to do this? So I can ruin my game? Hold on. Hold on. I'm going in. I'm going in. I'm putting that thing into the enemy's core. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Get the fuck out of the way, Arthas. Oh, terrible Horrify. I can heal through that, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna move it into the core. But my build right now, and again, I think this is the one I'm gonna stick with the most. We have the quest down at level 1 to upgrade our E ability. It's called Echo Corruption. We have Health Funnel level 4, which if an enemy dies while under the effects of drain life, the cooldown is reduced by 6 seconds. Just a pure survivability gain while you're in lane. So you can come up here. Oh, that guy died. Okay, we got a little bit of health off of him. Say you need more health. All you do is focus an enemy in the back line, and then you can life drain again. Very strong. Very, very strong. Then we have Devour the Frail at level 7. Drain life deals 50% more damage to enemies below 50% health. So this can be used as kind of a pseudo execute on big targets like Arthas over here. Yeah, we'll just leave him low. I'm putting that in your core, Arthas. It's gonna be there for you so you can practice. You're gonna love it, I swear. Horrify, I think, is going to be the most reliable talent at level 20. Or, excuse me, at level 10. Just because the damage of Rain of Destruction is not consistent at all. It could be very good. It will zone people like there's no tomorrow, and I don't think... I mean, I'm not trying to sound like I'm denying that, because, I mean, it'll be crazy good. In certain situations. There's too much RNG in it, though, for me to want to say, you know what, guys, I think this is the talent that you should pick. Because, quite simply, it will not perform very well in every situation. It will not do what you want it to do in every situation. It's almost in there. Harvest Life, Drain Life heals for 50% more health when used on heroes. As you can see, we're doing 153 a tick. I feel like I can live through most things right now. Granted, cooldowns are turned off, so I can move this thing into the core. No! No! Get in there! Shit, man. Then Ruinous Affliction. This is the one where we're not going to get any value out of it until we have our quest talent completed, but it'll be pretty good for burst damage after that point. And then at level 20, based on how good your game is going, you have Demonic Circle or the crazy fucking strong Haunt to save you. Alright. I do want to do some alterations for like other builds, because I think I do actually see some pretty legitimate build variety here. But you know, we'll have to save that for videos so you guys have a reason to come back and watch. I think that's going to wrap up today's video. Thank you all for coming by. I know I did this in a live stream format. Number one, I get your guys' input on the fly. I guarantee you I wouldn't have feared this fucking thing into the, into the enemy's core. But this concludes my theory crafting video. I hope you enjoyed. Again, if you're watching the live stream, it will take a while to process before the video is in HD, and that's okay. I don't think I've brought this up yet, but you cannot life drain buildings because buildings have no life. How do you kill that which has no life? Gonna be live streaming on the Squadron channel in about 20 minutes. Gonna be doing something. It was supposed to be Team League, but I don't know what it is now. And I'll see you all later. Okay, bye.